Well, hello there. Thank you for coming to this Essential Oils Made Easy for You online class. I'm super excited that you're here. I want to thank you. I want to bless you and just pray that your time here will be so beneficial to you. I really have high expectations that once you know some of these basics concerning essential oils, that you are going to be so excited to just hit the ground running and start having your own experiences. Before you know it, you'll have results and you'll be sharing them with everyone else. I don't want to spend too much time, just give a little time for some people to arrive. But so this class is also entitled, I usually call it Essentials of Essential Oils, because again, it is an introductory class. You are going to learn meat and potatoes. You are going to leave here knowing what is an essential oil, why does it work, how does it work, what's the difference, how do you know the difference between what's considered a junk oil and a true high therapeutic value oil, right? So you don't get bamboozled out there in the industry and in the marketplace. I'm going to make sure you know all of those things by the time we are through here. You're also going to have some real actionable tips and steps so that you can get started using essential oils. You're going to know how to use them, what's safe to use, what's not safe, how it's safe and how it's not safe to use, and you're going to know some really cool and effective ways to begin integrating them into your life right away. So without further ado, I'll just tell you a little about myself and why I'm doing this, why this is so important, and why I'm so passionate about natural solutions and about essential oils. So first of all, here's a picture of me and my husband. There we go. And I'll switch back to camera. So I just wanted to show you a little about my life. That was my husband Lee, and we live in Las Vegas with a couple of crazy kitties and my stepson, and we have a big old family. And I have kind of been the lone wolf a little while, kind of leading my family in the direction of natural health and natural solutions for a lot of years, although now they've finally come into the camp with me. Um, but I am a health and wellness journalist. I'm also an editor and a writer. I've just written my first novel. I'm still working on the editing process now, but working on a novel. But for a long time, I've written specifically like for self-help e-zines and magazines. I've written hundreds and hundreds of health articles and journalistic pieces on everything from using natural solutions for physical needs as well as emotional and otherwise, and for fitness and such. And the reason that I think I've decided to become my own personal expert is because for so many years I was a complete wreck. I mean, I was a wreck physically, emotionally, mentally. I mean, it's night and day to where I'm at today. And so basically, when I was a teenager, I took a round of, some antibiotics for a case of bronchitis. And when I came out of that, everybody knew that it was the pharmaceutical, the prescription drugs that had caused it. I had this horrible candida overgrowth that I suffered with for over 10 years, just cycles of painful, horrible, candida overgrowth, infection type things. And it just took forever to get through it and get over it. But at that age, I think I was about 15 or so, I kind of decided I had a vendetta, my own personal stubbornness to no longer use those kinds of synthetic substances in my body, because even though it was supposed to help me, it actually almost kind of did more harm than good. So a few years later, when I was diagnosed with what then we used to call it manic depression, now we call it bipolar disorder. So I was diagnosed with bipolar disorder. And I developed all kinds of issues. Excuse me guys, but my menstrual cycle was so debilitatingly painful, and some of you know what that's like, that I would be in tears. Sometimes I'd even get a fever from it. I couldn't go to school or I couldn't go to work. I'd be laid out. It was bad. And other issues, sometimes headaches. I started having anxiety attacks at one point. I also had eating disorders. I was bulimic for like 8 years and on and off with anorexia. So I'd be a little overweight, I'd be underweight, kind of back and forth. And then, of course, with the depression, guys, I even had suicidal thoughts. I mean, I was a mess. I was living a life I hated. I tried to do what everybody said was right, and I had a job life and a personal life that really, at the end of the day, was all fake. It was all me trying to be something that I wasn't. And so I really I actually had a point where I hit rock bottom. Now, the kind of funny, not funny thing is, even though I didn't want to do prescription or synthetic drugs, I guess I thought, you know, organic or natural drugs was okay. So I started getting high on natural drugs. Some of y'all know what I'm talking about. Um, and uh, and that really, really, really brought me down fast. And so basically my changes started with a spiritual breakthrough. I finally, after years of almost, you know, just going deeper and deeper into a hole, I had this spiritual breakthrough. I had the God that I knew, the experience that I had known of spirituality and stuff was long since gone. But I had an encounter with God and with Christ. The scripture says, Christ in you, the hope of glory. And I promise this is not about that, but it is a part of my story. And so basically I came into faith. I won't say I came back to the faith, because it was nothing like what I had learned before. I came into the faith and really met God and developed a relationship with God, and from there started to really weed out the lies from the truth, not just in spiritual matters, but in physical health. And because of all of my battling with weight and eating disorders and stuff, I was really passionate about finding the truth about that, about fitness, about. So fast forward a couple of years after that point, and I really started to finally find information that was useful, that made sense. A lot of what we understood about health and about fitness was wrong. I started to finally understand relationship with my own body, and then get good solid science for how to eat and natural solutions, herbs and essential oils to heal. So not that long ago, just a few years ago, I really started to hit my goals. I mean, I finally was completely healed of the candida, of other infections. My menstrual cycles went to normal now. They're not even as long as they used to be, ladies, because my hormones were out of whack, but they're not anymore. Um, and I hit my fitness goals. I'm like at a great weight. I love my weight. I love working out. I found what works for me, and using natural solutions pretty much entirely. And essential oils are also a really important part of that health lifestyle. And so that's really where I'm coming out from and where I'm coming from. It so bothers my heart when I see people struggling with health issues that I'm like, no, there is an answer for that. And even if I don't know it, I know we can find it, you know. And essential oils are such a wonderful addition to your health, to your wellness lifestyle, right? Like, we're going to talk about some things here. I'm going to teach you so that you know how to get sometimes immediate results, and also so you know how to incorporate them on a regular daily basis to really see results. So again, I just want you to know, yes, that my weight issues are totally gone. My food issues are totally gone. The infections are totally gone. And the depression, my emotional health is the depression issues and emotional unhealth is actually gone. And I actually never took, and I'm not anti-medicine. I'm not anti-conventional methods at all. You know, I believe in integrating natural solutions. But I do want you to know that I have overcome these things without actually having to use synthetics. I've overcome these things through diet and nutrition, herbs and essential oils, and a lot of prayer. And so know that from this moment, I have your name. You are on my prayer list. I am believing for you to have an easy experience integrating these natural solutions into your life, to experience dramatic results and breakthroughs, just like I have, and then some. Okay, so I hope this wasn't too long. I just wanted you to know where my heart is, where I'm coming from. I want you to experience what I've experienced and more for you and for your family and all your loved ones. So let's get started. I want to get started with the first slide. If you've just arrived, you will get there will be an email with a recording of this webinar, so you can come back to it and watch it again. And I'll also give you ways to be in touch with me with your personal questions and so on. So let's go ahead. I'm going to switch over. I might have to switch cameras, so I'm sorry if you have to adjust your volume. Not cameras, I have to switch microphones. So here we go. I'll see you in a second.